Am I the only one who's getting no sound?
Mna ndinayo isound kuba ndikwazile ukuva wena mntu uthethayo.
Have we started?
Not yet babuchapha sikaqali nguwe wedwa imembe esekhona mhlawumbi ke sawuphathelwa nguwe.
Good morning, honorable members.
Morning, Slalo.
How are you about up?
Siyaphila Mthembu kunjani?
Very well, thanks.
Yeah.
Apologies, I'm having challenges with network here. As you can see, I'm out in the farm in Kono. But let's get the session underway. Manyamza, do you have any apologies?
Good morning, Chair. I'm
Good
sorry we can't
morning.
get the session underway because we only have 2 members, you and Datu Chap. Let's wait at least
Oh.
for another 2 members. Thank you.
Okay, I'll be on standby. Manyamza. Khati. Manyamza. Mama Khate,
Tata,
uyazifumana member.
ndibathe?
Are we getting any other members on the platform?
Kuthiwa balinde ku-waiting room but andibaboni mna ku-waiting room. Ndicela undithumelele kuWhatsApp, bathumelele kuWhatsApp phaa kulaa WhatsApp group.
Okay. Let me send a WhatsApp and see.
Sivene tata.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Manyamza, how many members now? Manyamza?
It's only three, Chair.
Eh?
Only three, one more, Chair.
One more, huh?
Yes, Chair.
Okay.
Ukhona la one more, Chair. Ubani lo one more.
It's Honorable Monte.
Nade Mandela.
How are you, Dad?
Re kae modula
Ritsubila, Unamlatu, Lekailen.
Awa le rena re tsogile Chair, molato ha re o batle.
Eh,
Tsotlhe di
ke a
apere tshiamo,
bona,
Chair.
the honorable members ba kenwe ke a celebration ya Springboks.
Yeah, no go busy Chair, go busy.
Ah,
No o tla siama modula setilo.
lokile.
Morning, young man, Muntweti.
Hey, young man, is this you?
Bring another member.
Mazarante member. Why is Mama asking where is the link? The link was the Chair did put the link on the group. Check what is he saying there? She must join, man.
Muna Muntweti, go tell Matthias.
Let me try calling Tata Matthias, but to be honest, it's not my responsibility to me reminding him to join the meeting. All of us are earning should be attending meetings here. Let me do that courtesy and call him. Ya o thusa wena modula kopano ga go nne le kgoramo e phonetse Ntate Matthias o tla join.
Ah, fighters, come to the rescue, fighters.
Sha
ke tlhela ke bolela motho ete gore 1 or 2 years ya ANC o na le shares mo yona.
Ha ke utlwe o reng?
Ke re 1 or 2 years ya ANC le wena o na le share mo, maybe 100 o na le yona.
Commissar, we're in a meeting of government here, Commissar. This is a
No, the
parliament
meeting meeting I say on a meeting, not mostly a meeting.
Can the host admit
remove
members there?
Yes, it.
The members that are indicating who the host must admit them is the Dr. Tlape and Mayor Mahlo.
Tlhagon.
Sharp, Chair.
Sure.
Recording in progress.
Actually,
Recording stopped.
Banyamza, do we have quorum now? Okay.
Thank
Good
you.
morning, honorable members. Thank you for finally logging in. I don't know how members missed the communication was sent on the 1st of November to all members to be able to have this session. But it is a continuation of Tuesday's meeting, as we were not able to go through all the clauses that we sought to read through on the bill. So we will start where we left off in reading the clauses, and I will ask the content advisor to take us through clause 7, or as I try and find a suitable gadget to read from, because I'm on my phone, which is the one that I'm logged in on. Then as soon as I have my iPad, I'll be able to do that. Content advisors, can we read through?
Recording in progress.
Anyamza, I've also tried to log in with my iPad. I don't see the bill and the clauses.
Recording in progress.
Manyamza, can you enlarge? Honorable members, are we on chapter 6 or did we conclude on chapter 6 and moving to chapter 7?
We're starting on chapter 7, Chair.
Yes. I have an echo on my side. Am I audible?
You are, Slalo.
You are audible, Chair.
Thank you. Can you still hear me?
Indeed, Chair.
Thank you, honorable members. We are on chapter 7 on the preservation and development of the agricultural land bill, general and miscellaneous provisions. Delegation 34, section 1. The minister may delegate any power or duty vested in him or her in terms of this act, other than a power or duty referred to in subsection 5 and the performance of any duties of the minister. 2, A, the Director General, B, MEC, or C, any organ of state. 2, A, delegation referred to in subsection 1. A, must be in writing. B, may be made subject to conditions. C, does not prevent the exercise of the power or performance of the duty by the minister. D, may include the power to subdelegate. And E, may be withdrawn by the minister. 3, the minister must give notice in the Gazette of any delegation of a power or duty to an MEC or an organ of state. 4, the minister may confirm, vary, or revoke any decision taken in consequence of a delegation or sub-delegation in terms of this section, subject to any rights that may have accrued to a person as a result of the decision. 5, the minister may not delegate a power or duty vested in the minister in terms of this act. 2A, make regulations and develop policies. B, publish notices in the Gazette. Or C, appoint a member of an advisory panel, appeal panel, or a member of an advisory or technical committee. 6, the Director General may delegate a power or duty vested in him or her by or under this Act. 2A, an official in the department, or B, an officer in the provincial administration by agreement with the HOD. 7, a delegation referred to in subsection 6. A, must be in writing. B, may be subject to conditions. C, does not prevent the exercise of the power or performance of the duty by the Director General. D, may include the power to subdelegate, and E, be withdrawn by the Director General. Regulations 35, section 1. The minister, after consultation with the MECs, may make regulations. A, dealing with any matter which under this act may or must be dealt with by the regulation. B, the procedure to be allowed in applying for, the issuing of, and monitoring compliance with agrosystems, ecosystems authorizations. C, for the procedure to be followed in respect of 1, the efficient administration and processing of agroecosystems authorization. 2, fair decision-making and conflict management in the consideration and processing of applications for agroecosystems authorization. And 3, consultation with land owners, lawful occupiers, and other interested or affected parties. D, specifying the functions in relation to the administration and processing of the agroecosystem authorization that may be performed only by an agricultural professional, and the procedures to be followed by such agricultural professionals. E, for the procedures to be followed for the preparation, evaluation, and adoption of 1, provincial agricultural sector plans, 2, agricultural areas, 3, protected agricultural areas, 4, agroecosystem report, and 5, norms and standards. F, prescribing the contents of the National Agro-Eco Information Systems. G, for the procedures concerning the lodging of any appeals and consideration and decisions of such appeals in terms of this Act. H, prescribing fees after consultation with the Minister of Finance to be paid for 1, the consideration and processing of applications for ecosystems authorizations. 2, the review of documents, processes, and procedures by specialists on behalf of the competent authority. And 3, the consideration and processing of appeals. I, prescribing minimum criteria for agroecosystems reports in order to ensure a consistent quality and to facilitate efficient evaluation of agroecosystems report. J, dealing with the appointment, remuneration, and terms of reference of advisory committees. K, dealing with the appointment, remuneration, and functions of technical and other experts. And L, any auxiliary or incidental administrative procedural matters that it is necessary to prescribe for the proper implementation and administration of this Act. 2, any regulations made under subsection 1 may provide that any person who contravenes or fails to comply with a provision thereof is guilty of a criminal offense and liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 250,000 rands or to a term of imprisonment for a period not exceeding 2 years, or to both such fines and such imprisonment. 3, the norms and standards referred to in subsection 1E, V, must, among others, be informed by A, soil surveyors, B, range land surveys, C, land use surveys, D, land capability assessment, E, land suitability assessment, F, agricultural potential assessment, and G, impact assessment. 4A, the minister, after consulting the MECs, may 1, determine norms and standards for listing activities in terms of section 16 or for any part of an activity or for a combination of activities. 2, prescribe norms and standards to achieve and measure compliance with the objects of this Act. 3, prescribe reporting and monitoring requirements and prescribe procedures, and 4, prescribe procedures and criteria to be used by the competent authority for the monitoring of listed activities in order to determine compliance with the prescribed norms and standards. B, the norms and standards referred to in subsection 1E and V must provide for rules, guidelines, or characteristics. 1, that may commonly and repeatedly be used, and 2, against which the performance of listed activities or the results of such listed activities may be measured for the purposes of achieving the objects of this Act. C, the norms and standards referred to in subsection 1E and V may apply 1, nationwide, 2, in a specific province, or 3, in a specific demarcated geographical area only. D, the processes of developing and adopting norms and standards referred to in subsection 1E and V must include the 1, publication of the drafts, norms, and standards for comment in the Gazette, 2, consideration of comments received, and 3, publication of the norms and standards in the Gazette. 5, before making any regulation under this Act, the Minister must A, publish a notice in the Gazette, 1, setting out the draft regulations, and 2, inviting written comments to be submitted on the proposed regulations within a specified period mentioned in the notice, and B, consider all such comments received. 6, regulations made in terms of this Act must be published in the Gazette for public comment. Offenses, 36. A person is guilty of an offense if that person, A, contravenes the restrictions imposed on the use of agricultural land within a protected agricultural area in terms of Section 11. B, commences with an activity listed in terms of Section 16 without an agroecosystems authorization from a competent authority. C, fails to comply with or contravenes a condition of an agroecosystem authorization granted by a competent authority in terms of Section 15. D, refuses or fails to comply with a directive issued by a competent authority in terms of Section 32. E, hinders or obstructs an inspector in the performance of any function in terms of this Act. F, pretends to be an inspector or an assistant to an inspector. G, furnishes false or misleading information complying with a request by an inspector. H, fails to comply with a request by an inspector. I, unlawfully and intentionally or negligently commits an act or omission which detrimentally affects the agricultural land. Or J, makes a false disclosure on any matter required in terms of this Act. Penalties, 37, subsection 1. Any person convicted of offense referred to in Section 36 is liable of a fine or imprisonment, subject to subsection 3 and subsection 4 as determined by a court of law. 2, a court in an appropriate case may A, order the land to be rehabilitated or restored to its previous agricultural state or potential, whichever is the most achievable, or B, in the absence of a full disclosure of the information required in terms of this Act, order the person concerned to comply with the prescripts of this Act. 3, a person convicted of an offense in terms of subsection 1 may be sentenced to a fine not exceeding 10 million rands or a term of imprisonment for a period not exceeding 10 years or both such fine and such imprisonment. 4, a person convicted of an offense under this Act who, after conviction, continues with the conduct for which he or she was convicted is guilty of continuing offense and liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 250,000 rands or to a term of imprisonment for a period not exceeding 3 months or to both such fines and such imprisonment. Repeal and amendment of laws. 38. The Subdivision of Agricultural Land Repeal Act 1998, Act number 64 of 1998, is hereby amended to the extent reflected in the schedule. Short title and commencement. 39. This act is called the Preservation and Development of Agricultural Land Act 2021 and comes into operation on a date fixed by the President by the proclamation. Honorable members, that is clause 7 has having been read. Can we have a mover for the agreeing with the clauses of chapter 7?
Chair,
Honorable Mahlo.
Chairperson, I'm here to move for the adoption of chapter 7 on those clauses that are read by the chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mahlo, and I hope you mean agreeing, as this has been the term that was used in our last meeting. So we agree with chapter 7 clauses. Can we have a second, honorable members?
Aye, Chair. Ndumiso Kappa, I second the move by Honorable Matlo to agree on chapter 7.
Thank you, Honorable Kappa, for seconding the clause by clause on chapter 7, which have been truly read. Honorable members, that be the Preservation and Development of Agricultural Land Bill that we set ourselves to engage on. Manyamza, any other business for the day? Can I request honorable members and the legal advisor, if they are on the platform, to speak on how the final clause will be read after capturing the amendments? Do we have the legal advisor?
Morning, Chair. Yes. I have a request. We have not yet had time to sit with the department and the state law advisor
Recording stopped.
to get to agree on how the clauses after the proposed amendments should be reading, and regarding those clauses, on whether or not we will be accepting the proposed amendments. I do not know if the chair can be able to give us more time to have that discussion, and then we'll come back to you.
Thank you. Can the officials of the department on the platform? That is Rache. That is Rache. Mema Shaela.
Good morning, Chair. Thank you very much. We support the request by the Parliamentary Legal Advisor, Chair, that we will sit together and craft the new clauses, and then those will be presented at a meeting to be determined by the committee. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mema Shaela from the Department of Agricultural and Reform and Rural Development. We also want to thank our legal advisor in the deliberations they seek to have in order to engage with the amendments. Honorable members, that is all that we set ourselves to conclude on the clause by clause of the bill on preservation and development of the agricultural land bill. We'll
Before
now,
that,
yes.
Before that, sorry for interjection. My hands is up.
Yes, Ma'am.
Thank you, Chair. I also do agree that we give them a chance, but we need to have a time frame. We are now on the last minutes of Parliament. We need them to give us a time frame. How long will that engagement take? Because we want this. Thank you.
Thank you, Masho. Allow me to check because this is a continuing process of the committee. We will request that the legal team and the department prepare to present to the committee on our next sitting, which is Tuesday, so that we can be able to finalize the bill. We need also honorable members to wrap up with this, as we do have other items on our program as the committee for the year. So we will request our legal advisor and the officials of the department to ensure that they affect the necessary amendments as having been captured through this reading of clause by clause. Honorable members, as I said, there were no other items for the day but to get through these clause by clause of the bill. I therefore wish you well for the rest of the day. And those that are in the Parliament precinct, do join the entire colleagues in the National Council of Provinces as they welcome our Captain Siya Kolisi and the heroes of our nation, the Springboks, who are the world champions 2023 of the Rugby World Cup. And we are fortunate as this committee to have been part of history, as it is during the 6th Parliament that in 2019 the trophy was lifted, and again in our 6th Parliament is lifted for the second time. So we are very proud of this victory of the Springboks, and we wish future generations of South African rugby players to be inspired as the Springboks undergoes their tour. They've already finished Gauteng. They were in Johannesburg and Pretoria. They are now in Cape Town today, and we look forward to following their other tours right throughout the landscape of our country. Honorable members, have a wonderful weekend ahead. Have time to rest and catch up with your loved ones. We'll see you in the next sitting, inshallah. The meeting stands adjourned.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Mema.
Same to you. Same to you. Enjoy your weekend.
Have a great one, colleagues.
Thank you, Chair. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Anyamza. No, siqhubile. Siyabule. Sike uhleke ke. Bye.
Andazi umuntu onokwazi ukuphendula i-parliamentary amendments.
Kapit?
Umuntu onokwazi ukuphendula i-parliamentary law advisor i-cause uba ayikwazile ukukheptsharisha kakuhle i-amendments, ngoba mna uba bekunonikwa mna laa msebenzi ngoku, hayi bendizayilahla ikomiti Chair.
Hayi masiyele phaa kubo.
Hayi abayenze Chair.
Ya, sizaqabelisa ngoLwesibini siyisonke. Enkosi kamandi papayi.
Enkosi Chair. Dr. Manet?
All right.
The right to January.
Hi. You stopped recording.
Please.
Let's ask the streaming guys to stop.
I'm an mkhuphi. Mkhuphi phela meeting.
Dr. Matthias,